Hi friends, it's time for science. Are you ready? I hope you're excited, and I'm excited because we're using water today, and I know how much you like to use water when we're at school. So first things first is my sleeves are rolled up because I don't want to get super soaked. I have all my materials. I have my tub of water. I have a paper towel for spills. I have all the items that I'm going to try to see if they sink or float, and I have my paper with my predictions. Now remember, a prediction is something that we think is going to happen. So I colored my pictures and I sorted them into each column. I have my sink column, which means they're going to sink to the bottom of the water. They're going to go all the way to the bottom. And I have my float column, which means they're going to stay on top of the water, or so I think. So my predictions are, I think the penny is going to sink. I think the key will sink. I think the rock will sink, and I think the pencil will sink. Now for what I think will float, I think the water bottle will float, the leaf will float, the ball will float, the duck, and the spoon. Let's see what happens. Are you ready? All right, I have my materials. I'm going to start with the penny. What do you think, sink or float? 1, 2, 3. Straight to the bottom. Kind of hard to see, huh? The penny went all the way to the bottom of the bin. So the penny is sinking. Okay, next up is my key. I think my key is going to sink. What do you think? Sink or float? Can you help me count? 1, 2, 3. All the way to the bottom. It sunk. All right, my friends. Now we'll try my water bottles. Now I have 2 here because one is empty. There's nothing left inside. And one still has water in it. So let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3. The empty water bottle is floating on top of the water. Do you think this one will float or sink? 1, 2, 3. Whoa! Oh! It's kind of somewhere in the middle. It's still at the top, but it looks like it's moving towards the bottom. Maybe it will eventually sink to the bottom? We can leave it in there to find out, but I'm going to take this one out because it's floating, and I'm going to take it out to create some space. Put it on my paper towel. All right, let's see. I've got 3 rocks here. My prediction was that the rocks would sink. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. The rocks went straight to the bottom. Let's see what else I have. Let's do a leaf next. Do you think the leaf will sink or float? My prediction is that it will float. 1, 2, 3. Can you see? It's floating right now, but water seems to be filling up the top of the leaf. I wonder, as more water fills up, if it will start to sink to the bottom. We'll leave that one in there and we'll see what happens as time goes on. All right, next up is our basketball from recess. Sink or float? I put it in my float column. That was my prediction. 1, 2, 3. Right on top. I wonder if a bigger basketball would sink though. Running out of space in our bin. Let's see. Oh, what's this? A pencil. Sink or float? What's your prediction? I predicted that it would sink. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. Well, look at that. It's floating. All right, let's see what else I have left, I have my mini quackers. I have a duck here. I predicted the duck would float. 1, 2, 3. Floating away. Let's see, and I have my plastic spork. I predicted that this would float. What do you think? Sink or float? Go to the bottom or float on the top? 1, 2, 3. Up. Oh, it's hard to see. It sunk to the bottom. And it looks like, the leaf is starting to sink a little bit to the bottom as water fills it. And our water bottle is still kind of in the middle. But that was a lot of fun. Why do you think some of the items sunk and some of them floated? Do you have any ideas? We'll talk about this more next week, my friends. I hope you enjoyed that today. Now it's time for me to go, but I'll see you for afternoon meeting, okay? I hope you enjoyed science. Bye, friends.